I'm 16. Simone Biles was 16 when she won 2 Olympic gold medals. Lorde was 16 when she wrote a song that won a Grammy. But hey, it's not my fault. My mom didn't put me in gymnastics when I was younger. And the fact I'm not musically gifted is really not on me. Sorry that my mom didn't make me listen to Mozart when I was in the womb or make me cartwheel home from the hospital. I know what you're thinking. Excuses, excuses. Or maybe not. Maybe those are reasons. After all, what is the difference between those two words, excuses and reasons? I honestly have never really known. I always thought they were kind of the same thing, but you said excuse when you're in a bad mood. In fact, I can remember the first time I realized that the line between reason and excuse was not so well defined. I was in first grade, and I hadn't done the homework because I had left it at school overnight. So I went up to the teacher without any worry, thinking it wouldn't be a problem, and I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't do the homework because I left it at school." There it was, I thought, the perfect apology, starting off with "I'm sorry," and then saying why, saying the truth. But I was met with this same expression, excuses, excuses. Oh, she must have been in a bad mood. But this experience really stuck with me. So the next time I forgot to do my homework in 6th grade math, instead of telling the teacher the truth, I told her, "I'm sorry, I did in fact do the homework, but I seem to have forgotten it at home." I knew that she would respond better to this lie than to the truth. So that's a myth I'm here to debunk. An excuse is not necessarily a lie, and a reason is not always the truth. That's what they try to tell you, right? That honesty is the best policy and people appreciate being leveled with. Well, fake news. So if that isn't the distinction, then what is? It's actually pretty simple, and it all comes down to our fundamental desire to feel valued. We're all united in caring about feeling appreciated for the time and effort we put into something. With that in mind, and these 3 steps, no one's gonna get mad at you, probably for the rest of your life. Step number 1, you are wrong. Now, personally, I don't believe in excuses, just badly worded reasons. But that doesn't mean that you're right. Canceling on someone because you're tired, it's okay, but it isn't the correct thing to do. And deep down, you know that. And that makes you feel embarrassed. And that's an unpleasant feeling, so you don't want to feel it, so you come up with reasons why you shouldn't. But in actuality, the only way to get over the shame is to admit it, apologize, and move on. In addition, by apologizing, you're creating standards in your relationship between what you think is okay and what isn't. It's letting the other person know that even though you're acting this way right now, you don't think this is a generally okay thing to do, and you won't be repeating it consistently in the future. But remember, reasons are just words, and they have to be reflected in your actions. Canceling once and giving a heartfelt apology is okay, but after the 3rd "I'm sorry," 13th "I know it's inconvenient," and 33rd "my dog ate my car," it gets a little repetitive, and you start labeling everything an excuse. Step number 2, butter them up. Now, the perfect excuse is equally saying thank you as it is saying sorry. Research from the BBC shows that when you take something negative and try to frame it positively, you increase the satisfaction and self-esteem of the person on the receiving end of your words. So next time, instead of saying, "I'm sorry for being late, I was stuck in traffic," try, "Thank you for your patience, I was stuck in traffic." For something small like that, you can get rid of the sorry altogether. When it comes to something a little bigger, try a little of both. Instead of saying, "Sorry, I can't make it to your birthday party," try, "Sorry, I can't make it to your birthday party, but thank you so much for inviting me." We've already established that the reason people get upset is because they don't feel valued. So the best way to fix this? Show your appreciation. Step number 3, don't use this list. Now, every once in a while, we all say yes and make it a commitment we can't keep. But in general, the best excuse is none. So the next time someone asks you for a favor, tell them you'll get back to them. Don't say yes unless you're 100% sure. Being flaky isn't a good quality, so always proceed with caution. Now, if you're on the receiving end of one of these perfect excuses, I urge you all to be as understanding as possible. The person is probably dreading having to break the news to you. Maybe that day, with my first grade teacher, it was an assignment she put a lot of her creativity into for it to be fun for us, and then I didn't do it. Or maybe she was upset that even after all of her reminders to take the homework and put it in our folders to take home, I still managed to forget it. In one way or another, me not doing the assignment made her feel as though she was not valued as a teacher. We both could have been a little more understanding that day. Thank you.